Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play set in the Eberron campaign world. Colin,
Yeah,
what happened last time?
some talking. No revelations or anything. Easy breezy stuff. Talked to Varen last night, and he wants money and assurances that we're not going to get in the way of him making that. And told us he would really appreciate some people being found if we wanted him to be on our team. And so then we went to go see Lady Omarin and saw Pog's dad because he is riding along in the background of, what was his name? I don't remember the
Grigor de Denith.
Yeah, so he's riding along with the house, just hanging out. And she didn't talk politics. She wants us to help her after we get elected, and she wants us to steal some family heirlooms from her competition. So, nothing big or revelatory in any way. No. Just the structure of our entire existence shook. That's all. And
she began the conversation by stabbing her nephew.
Yeah, I thought almost taking his arm off as well, like, because it went through his arm like that. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yep. Just family things. It's Thanksgiving in my house.
That's we're big. And we stopped with you all right outside the Stormreach Forge, and Pog absorbing the weight of the moment.
And there is, still in the embrace with Ari. And then just kind of releasing his arms again.
As Pog releases, Ari kind of releases also and steps back and looks at Pog.
So
I wish there was an answer, buddy. Yeah.
That's all.
Do you need some bacon?
Usually. But I do. Probably, I don't. We should go somewhere because I kind of feel like my whole body is wanting to shake, and I don't know what kind.
All right, do you want us to go grab some food, have a little bit of downtime, take a breather before we go meet with Selshadra?
No.
You just want to get all this over with so we can go back to the house and be done for the day?
Yeah, yes, because I don't know how to words my feelings, because I don't know my feelings.
Okay.
So let's do something.
Yeah.
And maybe my feelings will tell me what they are later when they're not right here. We should go. Can we?
Let's go. Yep.
Okay. So Lady Selshadra, you've met with a couple of times in the last 48 hours, works primarily out of the Lord Smarch Palace, which is the main office of the Stormlords as a entity. And so you are able to head.
We do find a street vendor on the way that has bacon on a stick for Pog.
You know what? If you take a loop around and go through the Thrainish part of town, I feel like I read somewhere that there's a real strong spicy food streak in Thrain, and so there's definitely bacon wrapped peppers or something as a street food option.
So yeah,
there's a barbecue place down here that makes what they call Texas Twinkies, and it's a jalapeno stuffed with brisket, wrapped in bacon, and then fried.
I want to go to there.
Well, they got in the Thrainish district, buddy. They got
so good.
Some Thrainish Twinkies.
Twinkie
is such a weird word.
As many as she can. And like as soon as Pog finishes one, she just hands him another one.
He does not question where they come from. He just continues taking.
Just sweating from all the capsaicin.
They could be pocket peppers, and he's just going to continue eating them.
That's amazing. You all come around to the Lord Smart's palace. You see, kind of lounging near the steps, trying not to seem intrusive, Cadric, who's sort of near the cordon of Iron Watch Warforged, who are still keeping watch out on the main palace. Cadric sees
buddy.
you all, hops up. Hey, what are you all doing?
What are you doing
Questing.
here?
You on a quest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty boring quest. We're just going to talk to people. Nothing too exciting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Still a quest, but adult quest.
okay.
You wouldn't want to watch this, though.
All right, fine.
You been You been on any cool quests lately?
Have we? No, we have not.
Oh, that's...
You seemed really excited about not having been on a cool quest lately.
Yeah.
We have not been on any cool quests at all.
We should.
At all.
Cadric,
None. 0
Okay.
is the number of cool quests.
what's the last quest you went on?
Well, he
The
said
one
0.
where we helped with keeping order at the house. That was the last one.
No, not the last one we knew about. What's the last one you went on?
That's the last one. The one that you know about is the last one.
Sounds boring. You should
Cadric, why would you
do some
be
cool
here?
quests.
I just thought I'd hang around in case Lady Shadra needed to send me on any more quests.
How do you know Lady Selshadra?
She gave us a quest to find you guys that one time when you were down in that hole.
So you're doing more quests for her then?
Well, I don't know. I just thought if I was just kind of here, then maybe she'd be like, I kind of need a quest, and just wander outside and look for any adventurers that were hanging around and give me a quest. Maybe like she'd just be standing there, and if I walked up to her, she'd just like have a quest for me.
Oh, yeah. Just as if she was idling by waiting for somebody to come
just
by.
waiting for someone to
Just
come.
have a problem.
Like she might be just sitting there thinking about her problem, waiting for an adventurer to come
so
by
hard
and pick up
that,
the quest.
Like a punctuation mark would be like above her.
Oh, man, that would be so
How
great.
Desperately, she needed
That'd be
somebody to
really
come deal with the
helpful
quest.
for knowing when people had quests for us.
Totally. Hey, I got a quest for you.
Yes.
Will you
See, I was just hanging around and I found a quest.
Well, technically, I found you.
It did work for you.
Get the gang together, and you know those guys that have been the new guys that have been walking around our district, the Swords of Karn people.
Mm-hmm.
Just go. If you can tell me how many of them there are, and how and when their patrols change, and if they're giving people a hard time, there has to.
So I'm like spying, huh?
Recon, yeah.
Yeah, recon. That's a cool word for it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then
What about you guys? Anything interesting happening?
No.
Nothing?
we're talking to a lot of people.
There's nothing interesting has happened? Okay.
What do you mean? Is Cadric looking at anyone in particular when he's saying this?
Yeah, he's looking real hard at Arya and Shane. Nothing. I don't. Nothing. I don't mean anything. Okay, I'm gonna do a recon. And he just takes off.
I'm gonna strangle that fairy dragon.
I think he's talking about you two kissing now.
But the most
Most
interesting thing that's happened is the whole thing that you just had. He was staring at the wrong people. I'm sorry, we're not talking about that. Ugh. Pepper?
Inspiration, Casey. Inspiration.
I so badly want that to happen in my real life. Someone to realize they were tactless and be like, food?
You have not spent enough time with my family, because 100%.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Cadric takes off. And you're free to proceed.
Yep, let's go deal with this.
He is such a weird little kid.
It's enthusiastic, though.
Okay.
Why do you think he's weird, Pog?
Because he was totally lying to us, and he's always liked us so much.
He was lying?
Ari. Yes. He's done a cool quest.
How do you know?
How do you not?
I don't know if you recall all these marks on my body. I constantly have like white noise of everybody's thoughts that's within like near, like I can't think clearly most of the time.
The words that he wasn't saying were that he's done something cool.
I see.
It's true. His words said no, but his eyes said yes.
I tried. I almost kept it.
I'm so sorry.
Kept this one. I almost kept that one in.
I tried so hard to keep going and just nothing came out. I was like,
Did that song start running in anyone else's head? Okay. Anyway.
Remember when I was almost crying like 20 minutes ago at playtime? We have come so far.
And yet not far at all. Let's head to the door.
Steeljack at this point steps aside and lets you all pass. You've been here 3 times in the last 24 hours.
Sorry, Philip, I had a question. Seeing the Iron Watch with Omar and seeing Steeljack here, is there a significant Warforged population in Stormreach that isn't attached to the Iron Watch, or are most of the Warforged members of the Iron Watch?
Most of the Warforged are attached to the Iron Watch in some way, not necessarily members, but attached to it in some way, either in active participation or in service or support, I guess is a better term than service. Simply because the Iron Watch is an organization that both knows the needs of a Warforged living a regular life, and makes a significant effort to support what Warforged community Stormreach has. It's not a huge number of Warforged in the city, but yes, most of them are in some way attached to or affiliated with the Iron Watch.
Okay. As we go to pass Steeljack, Ari just takes a beat and looks at Steeljack. Hey, Steeljack, I got a question for you.
What can I do for you?
This might be an odd question. Are you and the other Warforged happy with your current situation in Stormreach?
It's better than a lot of places. Breland's pretty good, but a lot of the other nations of Corvair have a hard time seeing us as anything but weapons.
Yeah.
And here, we just don't seem as strange to people who are used to a lot of strange things.
Well, I mean, my grandpa had this saying that the butterfly in the net is better off than the butterfly under the boot, but it's better here, but are you happy here?
I am not able to speak for all of us, but for myself, the last almost 3 years now, when we've peace is not something that we had a lot of experience with. So finding something to do in peace was a challenge for me and for many of us. And in some places, it's easy enough to find work, and some places are more than happy to employ Warforged. But a lot of places you hear taking jobs from people because we don't need rest or food or all these other things. And in some places, just not being welcome. So, yeah, the Iron Watch is gainful employment and purpose, and I'm glad that we started it. Things could be worse, things could be better, but they've been getting better a little bit at a time. And we have the luxury of being patient.
Fair enough. Well, I know we've encountered each other at your station here before, but just want to take a moment to formally, I guess, introduce ourselves as another group of people that Stormreach is better than what we had before, but we're still searching for happiness. And if you ever need help with anything, let us know. We're always looking to help out people that perhaps the rest of the world would deem not worthy of helping.
That's good to know.
But yeah, so Ari extends a hand to shake it.
Steeljack reaches out a 3-fingered metal hand and wraps it. You notice there's like a very it's not like shaking hands with an organic person who just grabs your hand. There's a sort of ginger wrapping of the hand around yours, and then a shake.
Talk to you later, Steeljack.
Bye, Steeljack.
And then Ari heads up the stairs.
You know where Selshadra's office is.
What up, Kiris? We're back.
What it do?
When you walk in, there are 3 seats and a large cat bed in front of her desk. You're back.
We are. I figured you would have been expecting us.
Well, I try not to assume things.
It's fair.
Then why did you have these chairs out?
You stopped to talk to Steeljack, gave me time to change the furniture.
You are very good at having an office for talking in.
I know.
So I feel like you can safely assume why we're here. Obviously, we're chatting up the Stormlords about Lady Tavine joining your ranks, and given our previous relationship, we wanted to come discuss with you more politically aimed alliance in terms of making that happen.
I see. Well, let me begin by saying how shocked and affronted I am at your poor taste at seeking to capitalize on the tragic and regrettable disappearance of Jonas Wilkes.
Indeed.
Pog side-eye shade.
Surely the man's family should be allowed to grieve.
Surely. But the people of the Harbor District also have need.
Alas,
vacuum.
that is only too true, and I suppose, gauche though it is, we ought to have that conversation.
Yes. So, you had explained to us previously that we needed a majority of Stormlord support, and we would love to know what it would take to gain your support in this endeavor.
I see. Well, again, I express myself shocked and affronted that you think so easily I can be purchased with quid pro quo favors, but what do you have in mind?
What do you need? We are very capable in the field. We're capable combatants. We're capable at all kinds of skills. So, what do you have need for?
Well, for those sorts of things, I usually just hire adventurers on the cheap.
We
For
know.
this, as we are all, of course, primarily concerned with the good of the fine people of Stormreach, I think that in the interest of the least amount of disruption in their lives, it would be most sensible if the harbor were handled by someone more experienced and of greater longevity in the city.
Such as yourself?
Well, that would of course be one example.
Who else do you think would desire such a station?
Possibly Lassite. It would fold well into his mercantile focus. But I think that would be too much of the city's money handled in one set of hands, and that the city would do better to spread that around somewhat. I do not think Lady Amarin or Lord Amanatu would be very interested in changing their established bases of power. Amanatu might desire to add it to his, but again, too much in one set of hands.
Indeed. So then, if you were to take over such an endeavor, your current district would fall to the new Stormlord?
That would be one way to arrange it. Some conversation about reallocation of things would probably be wise, but yes, that would be obviously the simplest way to arrange things. It might be of concern to you to keep your power base in Cross, although if you were willing to not keep your power base in Cross, that might calm some agitation among other Stormlords. There's pros and cons to both. Other than that, I would, as a friend and ally, as a warm personal relationship, I would expect certain deferences to be paid to my own business when it intersected with that of House Tarkanan.
Cannot make any guarantees on behalf of Lady Tavine, but I can certainly let her know that that is...
But I assume you personally agree sight unseen.
I mean, myself, Ari Smith, sure, cannot speak for the entirety of House Tarkanan or Lady Tavine in her capacity as a Stormlord.
That seems to track.
Yes. Well, is there anything else that you would need done other than assurances that Lady Tavine would back your play for taking over the Harbor District and then an ongoing allyship moving forward?
Not specifically related to this. Were I to need something else, I would hire you for next to nothing.
Great. Anything else? Pog, Shade, any questions? Comments?
I never know when we're here.
Ari pats Pog's knee.
It's nice to have this sort of relationship that we can joke with each other.
Yes. Shade, you good?
I have lots of questions, but I think I'll wait and ask them later.
Come back anytime.
All right. Well,
But do you mean that?
I do.
Okay.
You have an extremely valuable skill set, and I would be happy to share my knowledge with you.
Okay.
Some of it.
thank you for your time, Coin Lord Selshatra.
You are welcome.
Ari gets up to leave.
Pog gives the chair a loving, tender rub and then goes as well.
Okay, I'll be back.
As I said, anytime.
So
Once-
outside, we think she means that, right? Because most of the conversation she didn't mean, but then the end of the part of the conversation she did mean, right?
I don't know. I never know.
I think she would love for you to get closer with her, Shade, so that you feel a sense of obligation so that she could use your skills for her benefit.
Ew.
Yeah.
Uh,
Surely I'd learn something in that process.
Probably, but maybe not anything that Thora couldn't teach you. I don't know.
I mean, Selshadra is a Stormlord, but Thora isn't yet.
But you know the whole, like, are we good thing that's been going on lately, and like, is
I
Thora
do.
good? And
Right.
you know, it's hard to answer that. I can pretty definitively answer it for Lady Selshadra about whether or not she's good.
I bet she couldn't.
I bet she wouldn't.
Wait, what's the answer?
Oh, not at all. Like she would kill us if we were inconvenient to her. I
Rude.
think, and I think she told us that.
And you're
right?
saying that that's bad.
Yes,
Okay.
somebody that
Great.
considers you an ally to then stab them in the back because they are an inconvenience to you is bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a good question. Shade, I am very glad that we verbalized that and cleared that up. Like, yeah. Anything else?
Now I know.
Yeah. If you have any other questions in that vein, feel free to ask them out loud. And we can work through them together. Some of them will be easier than others. Anything else that we want to do before we go debrief with Thora, gang? We've talked to all the Stormlords. We know what they want.
Right.
We need to know
Pog.
what she wants.
Well, that's very true. Pog, how are we doing?
Feelings, no feelings. We're
Less, same feelings, less loud.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, when you want to talk about him, feel free. But until you're ready, happy to give you space to process.
Thank you.
Back to school?
Got it.
Cool.
yeah.
To the school.
All right. To the school. Cool. So you were able to get back to the school with no trouble.
How many swords of Karn walking around cross as we make our way to the school?
You pass a few different patrols.
Okay.
But one thing you notice a distinct lack of. There's currently no angry mob at the foot of the stairs.
Oh.
Ari stops and kind of looks around like
Angry mob
feel like-
makes it sound like there were more people than there were, but you know what I mean.
yeah. No small yet extremely loud group of crazy protesters.
Correct.
I feel like we should feel better about them not being here than I do for some reason.
I just don't
My
feel
first
good
thought
in
was,
general.
are they dead?
Good job, Earthquake. No more haters.
Oh,
All right, well, that has to go to like number 27 on the list of things to think about and deal with. So I guess yay, and climb up the stairs to the school.
All right. There's a slightly smaller crowd outside the school today. Right now, it's not a meal time, and so there's a lot of people. You notice a lot of people seem to be working on the process of either clearing things out of houses or covering things from wrecked buildings, or just trying to put things back in order. And so you imagine a lot of people are at their whatever is left of their residences at the moment. And so when you come in, it's relatively calm and quiet. And Thora and Mrs. B are in the kitchen washing dishes. With Arlo and the kids in the entryway cleaning up in general.
Ari sees them washing dishes and need a hand?
Sure. And she throws you a towel.
Ari walks in and
If there's dirty dishes, Pog is going to look around for the leftovers of whatever the meal was and start rummaging.
There's definitely leftovers.
He's just gonna pluck it out of the pot.
They're very neatly arranged in little containers and packages.
You have eaten so many bacon-covered peppers in the past
Listen,
half hour.
Pocket peppers are not a meal, okay?
It's true.
As Ari jumps in and starts helping, he starts talking to Thor. We met with all 4 of them and kind of got a sense of where they all land.
All right. How does it seem?
Amanatu is an old gruff that doesn't want Stormreach to change in any big capacity. So that's his general attitude. And in order to gain his alliance, we would have to convince Steeljack and the Iron Watch to come under his purview with the rest of the City Watch and abandon Omarin. Lassite only cares about money coming into the city and into his pockets in a pretty gross way, in fact. But long-term, Falconer's Tower needs to be rebuilt, and he doesn't want to put Lyrander at the forefront of footing the bill because of the strings attached. So an ally in getting the city's resources to rebuild it. But more specifically, he has a farm that some people have gone missing and needs help dealing with. That could potentially get him further on side as like a direct go do.
Sounds like the sort of thing you all are quite good at anyway.
Indeed.
It's true.
Lady Omarin, well, first and foremost, she mentioned that the likelihood of you taking the harbor lordship is not likely, and it would be better to offer up to take another district rather than being told that the harbor lordship is not up for grabs. Long term, she wants someone that is going to assist in reducing the economic punishment that the Omarans have been under since her grandpa tried to pull a coup. And in doing so, she'd be very appreciative, but also she would have less need for her partnership with Cannith, since she does that to supplement the economic shortfall that she experiences providing the watch with arms and armor.
Interesting.
And in the short term, Amanatu stole a family amulet that has a blue dragon scale in it, that Delara Omarin killed the dragon, put the scale in an amulet, and when Amanatu killed her grandpa, took the amulet and now wears it to every meeting to rub her face in it, and she wants the amulet back. And then Selshadra wants the harbor lordship and just an ongoing allyship with you if you are the new Stormlord. So, but wants you to back her play for the harbor lordship. So,
well, you met with them. Who do you like?
I mean, top of
Lady
my list
Omaron.
is yep. Agreed. For my
Omarin. Excuse me.
All right. Well, that means not Amanatu.
Yeah. Which stinks because for me, he would be like number 2. But I understand that they're polar opposites. So.
Well, and it sounds as though to get Omarin, we have to steal something from an Amanatu, and I would imagine she'll be wearing it to council meetings, so I don't think it'll be the sort of thing where he'll never notice it's gone.
Yeah.
And he doesn't quite seem stupid enough not to put 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm. And to get him, we would have to steal the Iron Watch from Omarin, which she would also notice going missing.
Yeah, right. Yes.
I mean, we have to have the majority, which means we have to have Lassite and Selshadra.
Right.
So, question is Omarin versus Amanatu.
And you think Amarin over Amanatu then?
I mean, Amanatu doesn't want the city to change a whole lot, which means long term he probably wouldn't be super in favor of the Dragonmarked houses stepping in more. But Omarin seems more willing to make big plays if push came to shove and the Dragonmarked houses started overstepping too much. So,
Well, that has historically been true of her family, their willingness to take big swings, as it were. Well, listen, I asked you to take these meetings because I trust your judgment. And I believe you have a good sense of people. So, if you think Amarin is the one that we are better off working with, then let's work with Amarin.
all right. I mean, you're the one that's going to have to work with these people day to day. Are you going to be cool if something implicates us with stealing this amulet, like having Amanatu as an enemy going forward?
It would be, well, as I say, he'll probably put those pieces together, but it would be better if he couldn't point to something concrete about it. And if you can avoid doing it, it'd be better if we didn't hurt any of his people in the process, because then it's just he's lost a little bit of face, he's lost this item that didn't quite belong to him other than by right of conquest or something, in which case there's, turnabout's fair play, I suppose. So if this is something we must do in order to get Amaran's support, and it sounds like it is, it just needs to be careful to ensure that we're not making more of an enemy than we'll have to. Yeah. But no, there's probably no way that we come out of this without him, with Amanatu liking us, as it were. Now, doing this, what I know about Amanatu in terms of stealing from him is he's close with the least helpful house in that department. He's quite close with the dwarves of House Kendaric, who are expert locksmiths. And so I would imagine that the security in his home is impressive and extremely magical. So,
just like us.
Yes. Well put. So challenging to get in and out if he doesn't want us to.
All right. So are you good with us going back to these Stormlords and save Amanatu in terms of their political asks of you, giving thumbs up?
Support for rebuilding the Falconer's Tower.
Yep.
Support for Selshadra getting the harbor.
Yep. And an ongoing allyship to, you all remain friends as part of the council.
Favors, yeah.
Yep.
And
reducing the economic sanctions on the Omarans.
Paying the Forge what it's worth.
Yep.
Two of those are very easy to agree to because hopefully we can bend them in a way that it supports our interests as well. We decrease reliance on House Kenneth, House Lyrandar. There's probably no way around agreeing to Selshadra's, and it'll just be a matter of being flexible in how much of a favor we consider ourselves to owe her. But I think we can say yes to these things and then hope to turn the situations to our advantage as best we may. Now that I know what they want, probably I should take some of these meetings myself. How do you want to approach taking care of the other tasks? Going and finding that farm sounds very straightforward, and I'm sure it's not, but it sounds very straightforward.
Yeah.
But I have no concerns whatsoever about your ability to take care of that. I don't doubt that you can get Amanatu's amulet, but it would be... I would feel a certain amount of relief if we could talk through how you plan to do it. Since I would say the stakes are higher. In that we can definitely succeed at that and also screw things up quite badly at the same time.
Which at this point might as well be the house motto, but yeah.
Failing forward.
Yeah, we can go let Last Sight know that we're willing to help with his farm situation. And then I had the thought with looking into Amanatu's security, if we could get, and this is just kind of the first thing that popped in my head, he would be expecting Steeljack and some of the Iron Watch to come to at least have a bit of FaceTime, given his ask of us. So if we could get Steeljack to
That's
agree
interesting.
to do some reconnaissance for us in terms of the levels of security in his home, that might give us a leg up if Steeljack's willing to help.
That's a good idea. He might. Yeah, that's an excellent thought. Yeah, any inside information you can get.
All right.
The Watch in general are extremely bribable, but probably not the ones he keeps near his house.
Okay. Well, guess we'll get on it.
And we could hurt them but not kill them. What is
If you have to
specifically-
incapacitate his guards, I am not saying you don't. I'm not saying don't defend yourselves, but certainly do your utmost not to kill anyone. And if you have to incapacitate someone, doing so without leaving them with lifelong injury would be better.
Okay, that's
A lot of
That's helpful.
the upper ranks of the Stormreach Guard are his children, grandchildren, nephews. He might take it personally. He's formidable. So, if you come into a direct encounter with him, don't underestimate him just because he's an old man.
So wear masks.
If you can avoid being identified, that would also be good. Or at least deniable in some way.
All right.
Miss Thora, I need to talk to you about not this stuff.
Right.
If we're done with this stuff,
We're done with this stuff.
you guys can be there to talk. But if we could in your office, because I don't know how to talk about some things.
All right. Sure. And she leans out. Arlo, send a couple of the kids in here to help Arabella out. And Donabella and Pip come running into the kitchen and begin taking orders. And Thora heads towards her office.
Following that way.
Well, as we're walking out of the kitchen, based on Pog's words to Ari after the Kadric encounter, Ari just kind of quietly says to Donabella as she walks by, "Go on any cool quests lately?"
What? No. Who
You're,
has?
wor-
You?
you're a worse liar than Kadric. And Ari keeps walking.
What? No. Think?
You went on a quest?
Yes.
When have you been
I-
questing?
Am. Because I'm telling the truth.
What?
Ari's already gone.
Not in front of my mom. Okay. Excellent. So
Pog would just
Thora
go
comes
straight
in.
into it with Thora. When Black Wheel got me, was it just my grandfather, my mom? Was it just my do you know my dad? Did he know I was there with you? Do you know?
I know who your dad is. I don't know your dad, and I've never met your dad.
Did he know I was there?
I can't say with certainty. He's highly placed in the house, and your old combat instructor was of the same house. So perhaps if Falco was in communication with him or reporting back to his house, but as much as possible, Blackwheel tried to insulate its own documentation and information from the wider records of the houses so that it remained under wraps and more deniable. So it's possible that he just had no idea. I never had any contact with him, and to my knowledge, he was not involved in your arrival at the school. Why?
Do you know where he is?
Right now, I don't. I could find out. Do you need me to find out, Pog?
You really don't know where he is? You promise?
I haven't had any reason to look, Pog.
Well, it's because he's here, and I.
Just before we proceed, you don't mean he's here, like he came here with you and he's waiting outside. You mean
No, he
in
doesn't.
the city?
He doesn't know. I didn't say those clear words. No, he doesn't know I'm me. But
All right, it'd be
we saw him.
a long time since you've seen him.
And I don't. I wanted to know if he knew about me going because I don't know how much to hate him. Because it's a lot, and I don't know if it should be all, but it's a lot.
The person who would likely know the answer to that besides him would have been Falco. I could try to find out if he had any connections in Blackwheel at the time. That wouldn't necessarily say he knew every student, but I could try to find out how close he was to the program in the first place.
It it feels like a big difference between leaving me and giving me away and giving up. So if you could, please.
I'll try to find out if he was attached to Blackwheel. I can't promise that I'll be able to find out. Blackwheel connections, obviously, were mostly pretty well wrecked when we raided the facility. But I will try to find out.
Thank you, Miss Thora.
What do you want to do about this?
I don't know. I don't know if I can figure out what to do until I can figure out what to feel. And it's a lot to feel.
I'm not able to tell you how to feel about it. I don't know. If there's anything I can do to help you decide what you need to do about it, or to help you do what you need to do about it, please do come and talk to me about it. I will try to find out what your father's been up to. And I'll see if I can find out why he's in the city. And whether he'll be here long term. As I imagine that is probably something that you would want to know.
Yes. Yes. Please.
Please don't do anything dangerous about this. It would have consequences for people who aren't you.
I know. That's why I didn't. Because when I saw him, I hated him all.
If that's how you decide that you feel, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to. I just want us to be clear that sometimes, with what we're trying to build here, we will be forced to tolerate the presence of things that we hate.
I can hate quietly. I can hate by myself.
You don't have to do that.
I know. I know. But if we're going to be trying to be good, I feel like I should try at least to handle my own bad sometimes.
Are you up for this? For what needs doing in the next few days? Can you put this aside for later?
I would rather put this aside for later.
All right.
I'm more ready to do your things than this thing.
Fair enough. That's all I need to know.
Please tell me whatever you find. Don't tell me what you wish you found. Please.
I'll tell you what I find out, Bob.
Thank you, Miss Thor. And he stands up and reaches out for just a gentle little fist bump.
She reaches out and taps your knuckles with hers.
Out of the office. I don't know if anyone came along, but out of the office.
She did.
Yeah, Ari was there.
Well, that is complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else all right?
Yep. Great.
I think so.
Good.
Ari does the knee pat thing and then stands up and goes to walk out.
All right. So the plan is Lassite and his farm first.
Yep. It's the plan right now.
All right. I'll see while you're on that. I'll see if there's anything I can find out about Amanatu's house. Do speak to Steeljack. I think that's a good idea. But
All right.
I'll see what I can find out.
Sounds good. Ari.
Be careful. Stay in contact.
Will do. And, I mean, Casey, Shade's passive insight would be enough to know. As soon as Ari got in Thor's presence, his, like, mood just, like, tanked. So.
Got it. Weird.
Are you all right, Shade?
Yes.
Good.
And you?
I haven't slept much in the last 72 hours.
You should sleep. It's not that you shouldn't have done all the things that you have been doing.
And that is the problem.
Yep.
Be all right.
am tired of listening to people talk a whole lot and say absolutely nothing. That
And
must
that
be
is why
exhausting.
you probably don't want to go into politics.
Conflicted feelings about that. But definitely not right now.
All right.
Get some sleep.
I'll find time for that. Someday.
Okay. Jeez.
Awesome. Well, I think that is where we will drop this episode and pick up heading back to start our first quest for the Stormlords.
Favor quest.
Favorite
Episode
quest.
1.
Yes. I'm going to go grind some reputation. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find links to all of our social media and our Discord down in the description below, where you will also find links to Colin's Twitch, where he is Sorry BTR. The O is 0. New episodes of Khyber Shards drop every Monday. New Khyber Shards answers every Friday. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.